It's time for North Central, and Dale Hinkley's on the road, and on the road on some holidays, which is great. And the croppers have done their hard work. So we got Trevor Ryan back, who has been good enough to join us. G'day, Trev. How are you?
I'm well, Wayne. Yourself, mate? It's good to have me.
Yeah, good to have you back. And you were on a bye last week, the Birchall Botcham side. So did you get a chance to see any footy?
Not locally, no. I took the opportunity to get back to SA and watch Josh play for West Adelaide against North Adelaide, where they had a win. So I picked a good weekend to go back, and all the Westie boys were happy after the game. It was a good game too.
Oh, great stuff. Yeah, of course, everyone, Josh, your son, was one of the players that put his name in the hat for the mid-season draft, but he's going absolutely great guns with the Westies in SA. Let's have a look at who went great guns in the North Central Senior Footy Competition, and I'll tell you what, we've got Bort back in form, 12-14-86 to St Arnaud, 3-5-23, and the better players at Bort really stood up and started to show that they're going to be a very good side and could push for the finals now.
Yeah, no doubt. We had on the week before where they were really competitive right up until probably midway through that last quarter when we kicked away on them. So they're definitely a improved side from the previous year, and yeah, they will have a bit of a play on that fourth position towards the back end of this year. Shane
Biggs kicked 4 goals. We know that name, of course, from the Western Bulldogs. Look, McLaren was good with 4 too. He's another one that's come along. McGee, also John Lanyon, Twig, also Fitzpatrick, Davis and Smith, better players for them. So they got some good names in their better players.
Yeah, they have. They've got some talent even down younger with Potter, and those sort of players that come through the thirds from last year have actually given them a really good depth in regards to their personnel. So, yeah, look out for them at the back end of the year. So it's a team you don't want to take too lightly.
Yeah, Batali was a goal kicker, and also Berthasel for the lads from the Saints, and they had Bradley Organ as their better player. Jacob Tillich has been a star player for them for many, many years. Heading into the next match of senior football, and this was a really interesting one. Nullawil 11-9-75 beat Wedderburn 9-15-69 down at Red and Black territory. Nullawil didn't get it all their own way, and this, I think, is a credible loss, if I can put it that way. I know you coaches don't reckon there's such a thing, but there is a very good performance here by Wedderburn to take it right up, and had they kicked straight, might have even beaten the Maroons.
Oh, no doubt. They would have been bitterly disappointed after that game to have so many opportunities inside 50 and shots at goal and not come away with the point. So they can also take away that they were more than good enough to win that game. So there's some positives they can get out of it. But, yeah, Nullawil, obviously they got away with it on the day, which is part of footy, isn't it?
It is. Andrew Oberdorfer normally kicks goals. He didn't kick any for Nullawil in this game, but Adam Thompson bobbed up with 6 of their 11 goals, which I think is a critical performance. Sam Barnes, the veteran, 3, and Tom Campbell, also another very genuinely good player with 3. Jordan Rosengren, Corey Lowry, and Adam Postel, the veteran, very, very good players there too. Heading to our next match, and it was a big win from the Sea Lake Nandaly Tigers, 24-21-64 to Donald, 6-8-44. And my mail on this is that the Tigers were ominous, and this was down at Richardson River on the Donald home ground. I think they've sent a sign to the league here, Sea Lake Nandaly, that they are really purring along.
Yeah, no, it was a terrific win by the Tigers, that's for sure. Like, Donald are a really good footy side, and I thought it might have been a lot closer in the scoreboard than what it was at the end of the day. But to Sea Lake Nandaly, all credit to them. They obviously won a lot of the inside footy through the midfield, and a couple of their forwards kicked some goals at the end of it. So, yeah, it was a surprise win, but, yeah, look out Sea Lake.
Yeah, not so much that they won, but the amount that they won by. Josh Jenkins put on the boots, the big man, the Lake Boga veteran. He had 6 goals. Will Simpson and John Summerhayes both booted 5, and Tom Cox and 3 from him, and Bryce Domenico and Tyson McKenzie a couple. 3 to Sammy Dunstan, who's having a great season up forward for the Royals, and Jesse Wallen, Eddie Landwehr and Riley Barrick in their better players. Ross Young still played in the game, but could be just carrying a little injury, I wonder. He has played this game, but it was a big surprise when I saw that he did play, yet they got beaten by so much.
Yeah, it was a shock. I think it was a shock across the competition, the way the scoreline read. But, yeah, look, there's some goal kickers in that Sea Lake side, obviously got on the end of some footy, and they're the type of team that can really kick a big score quite quickly if you can't defend it. So they did play well, and Donald will bounce back, no doubt, this week.
We'll have a look at them in a minute. Witcher-Proof Narraport 14-12-96 to Charlton 3-9-27. A workmanlike performance, as they say in the old way of putting it, by the D's here. I think they'd be pleased with the win. Benjamin Fraser booted 6 goals. They'd be pleased with a forward kicking big bags like that.
Yeah, I think every week they'll be just setting themselves to win the points, the 4 points, whichever way they can. So they're consistent, they're competitive, and they're just going week to week, and obviously having a say in the way that Final Four is going to shape up.
Spencer Allen got going in this game. One of their better players. Ricky kicked a goal, which was good for him, but it was McLennan with 3 and Cody Green a couple, along with Hommelhoff. That's the Jed variety with a couple. Gavagan, Thompson and Woods also got goals on the Charlton side of the ledger. And let's go to round 9 matches. And St Arnaud get Birchip Watcham. You blokes back on the park. Up there at Lord Nelson, they've got some new change rooms apparently that you'll be able to have a look at, Trevor.
Yeah, we look forward to getting up to St Arnaud on Saturday and seeing how the facilities are. No doubt they're quite good, and it's good opportunity for St Arnaud boys to come out and play some good footy. So we're looking forward to it. We're hopefully can get off and play some really good footy on the back of the bye. So that's our goal through the week of training, was to get off to a good start and hopefully have a win.
Yeah, you've got some good players in your lineup. Surrett has been named. You've also got that Nick Rippon is in the side. I tried to find Marshall, but no Marshall Rippon. I think he's injured at the moment, isn't he?
No, Marshall has partners had a baby, so he missed that week, and then obviously the bye. But yeah, he is back in this week as another mid, which is good to have him playing again for us on Saturday.
Oh, that's good. And your son Lockie Ryan is in there too. Nathan Gordon, I see you got him. Dale will be back from annual leave, and the captain will acquit himself magnificently. I'll pick Birchip Watcham to win by plenty in the match. This is a big game. Nullawil and Bort. Those Bort people will come across to Nullawil. They might even go via Quambatook or somewhere like that. They'll get to the Nullawil Sports Ground. And it's interesting, the Maroons have lost one game there just a couple of weeks back against Donald, so they can be beaten at home, and Bort will fancy themselves with a little opportunity here against Nullawil, but I think I'll go with the Maroons.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. The Magpies will go down there thinking that they're a real opportunity to win that game of footy if they provided their backline stand up to a few of their forwards. It might be a close contest, so it'll be an interesting result, but yeah, you might be right. The Nulley boys might just get over the line with the home ground advantage.
Sea Lake have got the home ground. They play Wedderburn, the longest road trip in the business for the Wedderburn boys. It's a long road trip home on the Calder Highway, and I think it might be a hard one.
Yeah, on the back of what Sea Lake did last week, the Wedderburn boys probably, have their work cut out. But on the back of what they did against Nullawil, they probably got a little bit of self-belief that if they can keep the pressure up and kick straight this week, it could happen, but we'll have to wait and see. But it'll be a close one. It won't be. Well, then again, you never know. It could be 4 or 5 goals or more.
Yeah, I reckon more. And Charlton take on Donald. This one is at Charlton Park. It's the Navies versus the Royals, the two Blues in the competition. I've gone for the Royals to rank very highly after last week getting drubbed by Sea Lake. They'll bounce back.
No doubt they'll be pretty hungry to come back on the winning list this week, and Dunstan's going to be a hard man for them to stop. He's obviously he's an athlete, and he can jump and he can kick goals, and whether they can match up on him is going to be a test for him. But yeah, Donald far too strong.
Very much so. They're forward line with Dunstan. They've also got a young bloke, Harry Forrest, down there. He plays well. Ross Young has been named on half forward flank. Eddie Landwehr was one of their best players last week. Ryan McGough's played at a higher level. So just looking through their side, a big ruckman there in Rory O'Shannessy is very, very talented, and I reckon they'll get so much of it that they'll beat Charlton by 10 goals. But it's a good weekend now. Good to talk to you, the coach of the Birchip Watcham Bulls, Trevor Ryan. You have a great weekend up there in those new change rooms at St Arnaud, and I'll look forward to catching up with you again later in the season.
Thanks, Wayne. It's good to be back with you, and yeah, have a good weekend.